for trans people who wanted them. But the Nazis' destruction of the Institute's library destroyed all of the medical records, which contained detailed notes about nuances of the complication of some of the procedures, alongside plenty of personal notes, thoughts, stories,
No,
studies on
I'm not going on
LGBT
the tape.
people. And it didn't end there. The Nazi youth continued to harass Hirschfeld. There were plenty of violent attacks against him and against the Institute, and he ended up being in exile until he died 2 years later after the Institute was raided by Nazis. So why am I telling you this? Why is it important? How does it link back to today? Well, there are a lot of reasons why this is important. Firstly, it's important for history to not repeat itself, especially with all the anti-LGBTQ stuff that's going on, and like LGBTQ centers getting attacked, and it's just there's a lot going on. It's not okay, and we should not be taking steps backwards. We should be taking steps forward. So it's just
True.
don't repeat the same mistakes.
True.
But also, I think it's really important to talk about lost queer history, and especially like lost trans history, because there are so many people who see trans folk and they're just like, where did they all come from? We didn't have trans people before. They all just popped up. It must be because of the internet. And it's like, it's not. It's not really like that. Trans people have always existed. We're just very frequently erased.
True.
This isn't the first time that trans folk have been erased from history books. Like, I'm not going to get into it in this video, but like a lot of the First Nation communities that were colonized had two-spirited individuals, and they had their own history. It's just a lot of it has been erased. It's almost like people have been trying to cover up queerness and cover up trans people, and then in the future like, look, see, there weren't any, but it's like, nope, always been here, just very resilient. So I think it's important to talk about this stuff, because sometimes folks don't realize that it's like, trans people have always been here. There are medical records that date back past the 1930s of research on trans folk and gender-affirming surgeries, and it's just, I don't know, I just think it's one of those things that maybe we should talk about a little more, and that I hope eventually might actually be taught in schools, because I learned about World War II in school. I learned in depth about World War II. There was a lot of focus on it, but I never once heard about how the queer community was particularly impacted, or the fact that all of these years of medical knowledge was literally burned. Like, that's important. That sets medical advances back a whole lot when it comes to trans folk. It's really strange to try to wrap your mind around that, and also around how little it's actually spoken about. So anyway, the more people talk about it, the more we're keeping the history alive, and I think it might be important to talk about these things during Pride Month, because Pride is a celebration, but it's also so much more than that. There's a whole history that we have, you know? And if nobody talks about history, then as we've seen, history can get lost. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was at least somewhat informative. I hope it gives you something to think about or research. I'm going to leave a whole bunch of links in the description. I always leave my sources in the description for the informational or educational videos that I make, so go ahead and check those out if you feel like it, if you want to read up on it. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day and a great week, and you take care of yourselves. Alright, stay safe.
Bye, everybody. Yeah, this was a great watch. Here, I'll put a link in chat. You guys can watch it on your own time or share it. But I think this is a pretty great resource.
Hi.
Bookmark that. There you go. There you go. Yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily sure it's even to do with the church, right? Like, I mean, the church definitely plays a part in it, right? But I think it also has to do with the fact that, like, people look for easy scapegoats to their problems, and they perceive a new emerging group of people that are weak and alienated from society. They'll typically blame it on those people, right? This is something we see in societies all across the world. But yeah, that was a great video. Yeah, easier to blame the underclass. Exactly. And again, Disco Rat, like, I see you went into my DMs. I see your message. Like, I understand what you're saying about how, you know, that sometimes trying to play the optics game can enable prejudice. But I would also, again, say that, like, your phrasing of saying that is Donald Trump chasing the shekel, or is he trying to distract from his own problems? You understand why that's a problematic phrasing, right? Like, you understand that, like, saying someone is chasing the Jewish currency might be perceived in a certain way, right? I feel like this isn't. I'm not making like a point that is anti-Zionism. I'm just trying to tell you how you can more effectively make your point of anti-Zionism, because I agree with you. Yeah, sorry. What I mean is, again, it is Israel's currency. The new shekel. That's Israel's currency currently. But typically, when someone says shekels, there is the association with Jewishness. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And it's that the reason that I bring it up is not necessarily because you use the word shekel when you're talking about uh, anti-Zionism. Why I bring it up is because you're talking about it when it has seemingly nothing to do with, like, shekels seemingly have nothing to do with Donald Trump's decision making. That's why I bring it up. Um, yeah, I just want to clarify it for everyone else too, because I think it's a valid point to make. And I want to make it clear because this is a conversation I had to have yesterday, and the day before, about optics and about delivering conversational points and talking. You believe that he is financially benefiting from his Middle Eastern policy directly from Israel? Can you present some sort of evidence for that claim? Like, I understand they're both like authoritarians. It's like, so, like, yeah, I get why you would think that, but I also would like to see some, like, evidence, I guess, of the claim. Were there evidence he would be in jail? Well, then why do you believe that? If you don't have evidence, why do you believe it? Like, there are a number of reasons the United States has supported Israel in the Middle East, and a lot of them have to do with its military bases. A lot of them have to do with the moneyed interests that are invested in the area. Um, yeah, like, and yeah, Disco Rat. Largely why I bring it up is I know maybe you're using it in concurrence with, like, modern day Israel, but, like, the shekels association with Jewish people has a very long history. Um, right, but I think you should probably have more evidence to go off of than just the narrative fits, you know? Um, because, like, him moving the capital of, or him moving, like, the internationally recognized diplomatic corps to Jerusalem is not. I don't think that was necessarily motivated by him getting a payoff from the Israeli government. I think that was motivated by him appealing to his base. Because in the United States, there's literally a cult of people here. Oh, hello, IP a lot. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. But yeah, like, there's a whole cult of people here who believe that if uh, the United States moves the diplomatic capital to Jerusalem, that is fulfilling a thousands of year old prophecy, to bring about the end of the world and the rapture. So, like, yeah, this is why he did that. It's not because he's getting paid off. Wait, have you, Disco Red? Are you unaware of this? In the United States, evangelicals believe that part of fulfilling the prophecy of the Bible is that you need to move the capital of Israel to Jerusalem. Um, and so that's why Donald Trump did it, to appeal to his base. And so, yeah, they want to bring about the apocalypse that will also genocide the Jewish people. It's weird. Yeah, yeah. It's basically he wants to initiate the end of days. Yes. Also, at Spiritus, hello, and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. Yeah, his evangelical base. Yes. We'll see you, Lady Starfire. I hope you have a nice night, and if you come back, I will very much be glad to see you. Do you guys know about the anti-Semitic folktale from Germany about a Jew who struck Jesus before he was crucified and is now forever bound to walk the earth until the end of time? No, but I thought that was Cain from the Bible. Yeah, they're like honestly, Disco Rat. I don't think that most Americans tend to like Donald Trump included tend to think about any other country other than America. Um, Cain was OT. Wait, what does OT mean? Yeah, I know Cain had nothing to do with Jesus. Yes. I know that, but I'm saying the one cursed to wander the earth for all eternity. I thought that was Cain. I know who Cain is. Slapping Jesus does sound like something Cain would do. Cardophilus. Oh yeah. Guys, I worked at a Bible camp. I know I'm just not I'm not familiar with your shortened terminology, okay? I know Bible stuff. I know Bible stuff real good. Wasn't there Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. The ancient I this is why that name rung a bell for me because I'm a weeb, so I watched The Ancient Magus Bride and there's a character in that named Cardophilus. All right. That's why it was familiar to me. That was it why it was familiar to me. I have never read the Bible. David Filippo, I don't blame you. When you hit the genealogy section, it's a lot. It's a lot. Ancient Magus Bride is amazing. I just wish it was less weird about the sexual dynamics. But I do enjoy the show anyway. Um, you gotta know who begat who. True. 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 Um, yeah, this person was great. Aaron Ansuini. Don't know much about this person, but they seem pretty cool and based.